no time to explain, mate. Goodbye!
Hey, what? What's wrong with these people? They won't
They're here! Yeah! There you are!
Oh, thank goodness!
Quisto and Lavaroon, do you know what happened here?
We came here especially to... Lavaroon was saying...
Wait, weren't you the one who...
Hey! Shut up!
Okay, whatever. The point is, you should come with them. Yeah, he said to get his...
Oh no, it can't be that thing!
Whoa, wait, what? What? Hey, where are you going?
We have to go find the Duke! You two just go and get out! Go on without us!
Hey! Be careful!
Attention! Please evacuate upwards and outwards, upwards and outwards. If you're already at the topmost layer, then try to move as far outwards as possible. Attention! Please evacuate upwards and outwards, upwards and outwards. If you're already at the topmost layer, then try to move as far outwards as possible.
They're here.
Just like I said.
What happened?
You're just in time. But be ready to run. Three, two, one.
This won't hold it for long. Find Neuvillette. Tell him the defenses are about to collapse.
Then what will happen to you?
Until he arrives, we're the last line of defense. The gate. How long do you think it'll hold?
That depends on us.
Neuvillette, why are you here?
Traveler, I need you to head to the Opera House. Farina will soon be meeting with the knave there. You must protect Farina, and make sure she will do. You have...
Take it easy.
Look, there are a ton of Fatilian Palais Mermonia people over there. Are you two the traveler in Paimon? Monsieur Neuvillette has, though I'm sure he's already explained, this should be a mostly cordial conversation, unlikely to give rise to violence. But
Oh, so you two are the honored guests.
Of course, of course. How could they not attend a meeting such as this? I must...
It is my pleasure to make your acquaintance, traveler. I have heard much of your accomplishments. I am the knave.
I've already prepared seats for you.
Perhaps you two are unaware of how Miss Farina and I do things. You see, we actually recently agreed to get together for tea. See this? This is a limited type of confectionery that Miss Farina simply adores. There are only 6...
Traveler, what do you think of this cake?
That's good to hear. So what Child said was on the mark after all. You do... I wonder how he's doing nowadays. You must have heard, right? He's suddenly gone missing.
Since we're talking about him, I feel like I should add something.
Oh, so you're also familiar with his aptitude for fighting, Miss Farina. Oh, right. I almost forgot. Against ordinary people, my colleague would never be on the back foot. But alas, he just never imagined he'd run into such a... Coming from you...
But I thought you would be happier to hear the news.
Of course, but it's still a bit of a shame. You see, I would have been far happier had I received this news somewhat earlier.
Well, in any case, there's no need to worry. We know for sure.
Oh, and...
Because we found evidence that proved he left the Fortress of Mirapede.
And where did he go after leaving? The Fortress of Mirapede lies deep beneath the waves. Unless he pranced right out of the main gate, he must... Ah, that is good news at least. His sister Tonya sent a letter to Fontaine not too long ago. Since he was unfortunately unavailable, do you have any idea how he usually writes back to his family? Dear Tonya, your letter made me feel like we were still enjoying our time in Snezhnaya together.
All letters tend to follow the same few formats anyway, right? As long as...
Hold on. The water and the...
I suppose this is also a sign...
I don't...
Have we entered into the next stage of the prophecy?
My thanks to you both. I will take it from here.
Sure you don't need a hand?
Quite sure.
Wow. So, what's your secret, huh? Let me guess. Nah, who knows? Maybe it's just your sense of responsibility.
Sounds about right.
Day may come when the prophecy is fulfilled, and the waters burst forth. But it is not this day! This ancient power could easily obliterate an entire race. A tsunami of fury would unleash endless catastrophe. This sentence is too severe. Forgive me for overruling it.
All right.
Let me guess. We're safe for now.
Indeed. But
I win this bet.
Very well. It was.
you made a bet?
We made a bet on the size of your entourage. Cloran thought you wouldn't come down by yourself.
I figured you would have at least brought a few people along for appearance's sake. It appears
Shouldn't you have gotten used to confidential missions by now?
So what gift must the loser...
He already has tons of
That wouldn't happen to be a dig at my lack of legal...
Well, I'm sure His Grace doesn't consider the fortress to...
I was under the impression the residents of a place like this would be
That was obviously a joke. Anyway, you've still got some...
No need to stay here if you have a pressing matter. We all know you can't leave Palais Mermonia for long.
Thank you. I hope everything went smoothly.
I must say, we've spent long... Miss Farina. As the Hydro Archon, I am sure you understand the exact meaning of the phenomenon we just witnessed.
What are you trying...
At this point, I don't think there's any more need to speak as diplomatic representatives. Allow me to speak to you now as just a Fontanian. You know that... Yet, here you are, relaxing, drinking tea, and eating desserts as if it's all nothing more than the prophecies hanging above our necks like a guillotine. Every faction is looking for a way to either avert the disaster or save them. But you... It beggars belief just how nonchalant and carefree you have been. From the very beginning,
You're wrong. I've never ignored the prophecy, nor have I just been passing the time in self-indulgence. Retract your accusation and...
I am not alone in my doubts, you know. All the children of Fontaine may be... Oh, great Hydro Archon. How are you going to save them? Save us? How are...
I have my ways, and I've been working on them for all this time. Even Fontaine will be saved. Even if I still cannot...
Then I ask you, Miss Farina, just what have you been working on? Where can we seek...
My machinations are just like the prophecy itself. They will...
I see. As a god, the proof of your labor always lies... Allow me to be so bold as to ask another way. Oh, that look in your eye.
The emergency response...
Then allow me to jog your memory. Miss Farina, what is the... And what do you plan to do with the massive amount...
The oratrice? It's...
So you also have no idea. If I'm not mistaken, I first caught wind of this when Linny tried to investigate the oratrice in the Opera House. You see, even just getting But even if that had nothing to do with you, then what could you possibly... Oh, right. I almost forgot. Udex Nouvillette is not at the
yeah.
Of course I will. Although, I must... Oh, very well. Let's stop that conversation here. There are still a few slices of cake left. Traveler, I heard that you were recently commissioned to handle a few matters on behalf of the Udex. Why don't you take an You too, Pot.
Thank you. Oh, Paimon soup.
You're welcome. It is getting...
Very well. We'll end it...
Mind seeing me off, Traveler? We could use the opportunity...
Paimon's coming too!
I'm glad that you were willing to come with me. Of course, child was just an excuse.
That's what Paimon thought.
You lent your aid to the children of the... That was all. Formal topic. I know you just returned from the fortress of Meripede. Relax. I have no intention of trying to get anything...
They've all been working...
You mean Ridesley. He's a tricky one to deal with. By the way, and you can just consider this... You are outside of our disputes, and the freest person in all of Fontaine, able to move...
And that's everything that happened during the trial. Master Child was declared guilty, and immediately...
Didn't he say he was coming here on vacation? Does he not feel an ounce of shame? Forget it. He did. I will be meeting someone short...
Do you require help with any preparations?
No need. I need to meet with Farina, the Hydro Archon. She is at the heart of Fontaine.
Oh? You dare to run from me?
My goal is just to discover the location of the Gnosis. But I didn't expect the chance to approach Farina to be handed. Anything left unguarded is usually... It's just as I guessed in the second before I struck. The Hydrognosis is not correct. In fact, this Archon doesn't seem like a god at all. And I...
Who are you? And what are you trying...
The fear in her pupils is genuine. So perhaps she's not bait after. I left the scene with ease. Nobody came looking for me, and nobody could serve as a witness to my near assassination of Focalor. Not long after, my informants confirmed what I had guessed. After returning to her quarters, Farina quietly cried alone. There's no doubt that there's something wrong with her. I began to entertain the possibility that she is not the true Hydro Archon. I have to find the Gnosis. If the Neuvillette hypothesis is correct, he is probably in possession of it.
Yes, Father.
My dear children, please...
News from the Fortress of Meripede. Master Child has gone missing.
Probably the handiwork of that rot. I'm afraid so. This is a good opportunity. The value of a Harbinger is much higher than most would imagine. We now have an excuse to exert diplomatic pressure on the Font. Set up a meeting for me. I would like to meet the Hydro... Oh, and I have...
Yes, Father.
Tartaglia's disappearance was not a part of my plan, but I can use it to make a breakthrough. The initiative belongs... You should know the rest. Lenny's group is quite close to you, so they would...
You attacked the Hydro...
It wouldn't mean anything, even if you shouted it from the rooftops. After all, even Farina herself is... I've now had 2 chances to enjoy tea with Farina. I have to say, the leadership of Fontaine is even more inscrutable than I had imagined. I once surmised that Iudex Neuvillette... I am a servant of Her Majesty the Tsaritsa. Over my years of service, I've learned how a real Archon conducts and carries themselves. Whether Iudex... Of course, that is all just how I feel. It is, however, quite Don't you think Fontaine is quite intriguing? A catastrophe looms, yet many... Ultimately, though, one must survive in order to... You don't need to commit to anything right now, of course. I have a feeling that the situation will continue to evolve. And as your name is often connected with noble deeds, I'm sure we will work together someday. He certainly returned quickly. You must want to catch up with each other.
Neuvillette?
For now, yes. But this issue will prove quite thorny in the long term. I'm concerned that... Thank you for protecting Farina. To put it simply, I used my power to force back the Primordial Sea and reseal the sluice gate. So as expected, the knave has turned up the pressure on Farina. She's trying to... Permission granted.
Whoa. It can't be that you're the real Hydro... You can't tell us? Then Then that's okay.
If by the phrase, you guys, you are referring to Farina and I, then although I'm not sure just what you are trying to imply, I must clarify that I do not. I believe so. The fortress has a long and complex history, and now another catastrophe will soon be upon us.
Huh? What?
You may be closer to the truth than you think.
Oh? And what are you thinking? The dragon of... Huh?
Please do not. My apologies.
We were just guessing randomly. We didn't guess right, did we? You're not actually the...
You guessed correctly. I sincerely hope you...
Right. There's still...
Please, go.
Well, if you are the dragon sovereign of water, then since Fontaine's prophecy is all about seawater, could...
None of the currently living dragon sovereigns in the world, myself included. They say that when the first usurper arrived on Tivat, they seized a part of the dragon's power. Today, that stolen power is the...
There are 7 elemental archons and 7 matching...
The dragon sovereign of water who lived through that era perished a long time ago. As their successor, in any case, I believe I will not be able to do much unless the Archon disappears and returns their elemental authority to me. Given the status quo, however, I would recommend finding another way to deal.
Oh, so even...
I still have some urgent matters to attend to at my office. If you...
please go right ahead. We'll see you another time.
Take care.
Clear skies can do nothing to